Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what are the different types of identifiers we have in Java? Let me answer. There are different types of identifiers in Java. But before that, what exactly are identifiers? Identifiers are nothing but the names given to various programming elements in Java. There are a lot of programming elements in Java that we can name with to identify them. Why we name a particular element, a programming element in Java? We want to recognize it separately by giving it a name. Okay, that's the reason for giving a name. Those things or those programming elements in Java that we would like to call with a name are nothing but can be called as identifiers in Java, guys. And what are those programming elements in Java that can be named and can be called as identifiers? The examples are variables, methods, classes, interfaces, labels, packages, enums, type parameters are generics, and many more. Whatever the things in Java that you can name with are nothing but identifiers in Java. So in variables, we can subcategorize into local variables, constants, instance variables, static variables. Okay. All these type of variables can be given a name and hence they can be called. These variables as a whole or this different category of variables can be called as identifiers. We can also, while creating the methods, we have to give some name to the method. So we can call them as identifiers, then classes, then interfaces, even methods constructors also will be given some name. So they also can be called as identifiers because anything in Java that can be given some names like methods, constructors, classes, interfaces, labels, packages, enums, generics, and many more, guys. So let me practically demonstrate these examples of these things or programming elements that can be named in Java and they can be called as identifiers in Java. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class as, I'll give it some random name, say class 1. So let the dialog come and say class 1, guys. And with main method, I'll create, click on finish. Once I do that, I'll get this main method. So here, while creating a class, what name I have given to this class? Class 1. Now class becomes an identifier because I'm especially want to identify the class with by giving it a name. So class one is one such kind of identifier. Okay. So inside this class, we can create some variables and methods. For example, I'll create some variables. The variables can be local variables or global variables. Here, instance and static will come under global variables, guys. Okay. I can subcategorize them again. Global variables. So variables in Java can be local variables or global variables. Global variables are nothing but this instance static variable. First, I'll go with the local variables, the variables that can create inside a method. For example, here we have a main method. Inside this method, if I create a variable, that variable is called as a local variable. For example, int a is equal to 5. Here, the name of the variable that I have given is a. Okay, int a is equal to 5. So here naming, okay, the variable is named with some name like a, etc. So variable is also an identifier. Coming to the constants, okay. Coming to the constants, we can create some constants like this. For example, here I'll create a global variable. Say int b is equal to int b. I'll say final here. The moment I say final here, you see this variable should and must be initialized at the same line. So I'll just initialize it with some value 10 and you cannot modify the value of this particular thing. It's no more a variable, it's a constant. Okay, the value will not change. If you try to update the value of this particular variable, I can keep static also here. Okay, that's also fine. And if I try to update the value from 10 to 15 like this, I'm going to get an error saying that the field class one dot b cannot be assigned. You cannot modify the value of the constants. Okay. So, but we have to give the name to the constants. Okay. Constants are the kind of variables which are specified with final modifier, and those initially assigned value cannot be updated. For these local variables, if they are not final type, we can update them. They are variables, guys. So these are the examples of local variables and constants. Then we have global variables, the variables that are directly created under the class and outside the methods. You see, for example, this variable b is can fall into the global variable category. I can create few more variables. int c is equal to 8. Then int d is equal to some say 9. I can do that, okay? These are global variables because they are directly created under the class and outside the methods. And these global variables can be again categorized into two types, instance variables and static variables. If I put a static keyword, okay, that global variable will become a static global variable. If I don't put static here, it will become a instance variable, instance global variable. So all this variety of variables that I'm talking about, it can be local variables, constants, global, that is instance variables, and static variables, need to be given some name. Okay. And coming to the methods, you see here main method, according to the syntax of Java, this particular main method from which the execution will start. So the name of the main method should be main only. If you change it, it is no more a main method and execution will not start. So I can create few more methods in Java like this public void sample one. Here the name of the method I gave is sample one is the name of the method I gave. So you can name the methods. So methods also fall into identifiers because these are the program methods are programming elements that you can name in Java. Okay. Identifiers in Java are nothing but the names given to various programming elements. Okay. The elements that we can name in Java can be called as identifiers. Okay. Then classes, I already told you we can name the class. So they can that falls under the identifiers category. What are the different identifiers in Java means you can give all these examples of these programming elements that can be named in Java, guys. Okay. Then you can create an interface, guys. Instead of creating a class, you can right click select here, and instead of selecting this class option, you can select an interface and give a name here. Interface, let's say one. Okay. Like this, instead of creating a class, I'll create an interface. So public interface one will be created. You see the name I have given is interface. Okay. Then we have labels. So let's go to this main method and create some, okay, label code. You can label anything, guys. Okay. Inside this, I can label anything like label, where one or some name I'll give for the label. Okay. So here, what is that? I'm missing anything. Label ABC colon. I don't think I can give labels like this. Let's say I'll create a for loop. If I remember, int I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, here can I write a label? Label yes colon. Okay, so what is the problem here? Hold the mouse on this. I did a mistake somewhere. Create label cannot be resolved. Label or okay. Okay, I have to give some name to the thing. That's it, I guess. I don't have to say label there. I just have to give the name. Say yes. This is a label, guys. The name of the label is sample label. Okay. I don't have to mention the keyword label here that I forgot. Okay. So sorry for that. So I directly have to give the name followed by the colon symbol. At any line we can give, for example, here and say label 2. Can I give label 2 here? No, I guess so. Labels are not allowed everywhere. So this kind of for loops I have used earlier. So int j is equal to 0, j less than 6, j plus plus. Now this kind of loops, right? We can give the labels. Okay. Sample label 2. Sample label 2. Int j is equal to 0. You see, we can give labels like this, and we can break, for example, using some logic. If I is equal to j, then break followed by the label name, that is sample label 2. Label sample label 2, you can break like this. You can write the logic, guys, and these labels can be given some name. In Java, labels can be given some name, hence they can also fall into the programming elements that can be named in that can be given name in Java and can be called as identifiers. Then we have packages. Here we are creating a lot of packages, right? Whenever we want to create a package, let's say new package I want to create, new package, HI pack I want to create. Okay. Right click new pack, select package option and create package. A package with the name HI pack has been created. So we have named the package. So it also falls into identifier. We can create enums. I don't want to explain enums in detail, but in the upcoming videos, I'll try to answer as part of the interview questions. So here we can select enum option. And here we can give some enum one name or something like some random name. Click on finish and an enum will be created. Enum name. Okay, what is this enum and all? Let's not dig there. for now we are figuring out like what are the different type of identifiers in Java that we can name. Okay, all the programming elements in Java that can be named or called as identifiers. Here, enums also will fall into the category because we can name them with some name. Okay. Then we have generics. For example, I'll go here and here I'll create a generic here. For example, I'll create an array list. Array list, A list is equal to new array list. Okay. And here these parts are called as generics, guys. For example, here if I say less than greater than symbol, okay, and here I have to provide the type of the objects. Okay, these are generics generally. Okay, we can name these generics. Okay, with the different class names and all. I can import this from java.util package, and not only this one, guys. I will create a new class. For example, here in the same one, class 2. I'll say here I'll write down here beside this I can give some name, okay, like T or something like that. I'll give this is the name given to this generic type of this particular class. The name that is we can since we can use generics to name the classes, like I mean generic types also we can name, that I mean to say. So since we can also name the generics also will fall into the programming elements that can be named. Instead of T I can say A also here, capital A or something. I can name this generic type with anything. So that's the reason generics are also programming elements in Java that can be named. Hence, they can also be called as identifiers. And there are many other stuff in Java, guys, okay, that we can, name them. For example, if you want to create an object for this class, I can also bring object reference. Object reference is also falls into the identifiers because we can name the object references. Okay. So let's say new class one, I'm going to create an object for the class one, and I'll say C1 is equal to C1 is the name I'm giving for this class one. And I'll say class one as a declaration. You see here, I have named this object reference with some name. Hence, this object reference programming element can be named in Java. We can also call them as identifiers. Okay. All these are the examples. There may be many more that I may be missing, but these are something that I can recollect and give you an examples for the different type of identifiers we have in Java. I hope that I covered a lot of identifiers for you in Java. The programming elements in Java that can be named in Java are called as identifiers. And these are the examples with practical demonstration. I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.